I want to hear one good thing that this guy can say about Thierry Henry. Please, can you give us something?
I'll say something here.
Wallahi, all this time you've been just roasting.
I have a confession. I have a confession to make. Wallahi. Growing up, I was an Arsenal supporter.
Yes. All of us. All of us.
No.
Because of Henry.
No. Growing up, I was actually an Arsenal supporter. Wallahi.
And then the 2006 final wrecked it for you.
Why? Because I had my binoculars on, I still couldn't find that.
No, Azam, let me say.
You better not edit that.
No, I'm not gonna edit. How's it going, people? Welcome back to the second episode of the Galacticoz podcast. Boys, we're back. Second episode in. How are we feeling, man?
I'm saying
Back and ready.
Back and ready, huh?
Back in the flesh.
I gotta say this. The first thing I gotta say, first of all, obviously I'm doing all the editing. I've had a look at the last episode, especially from 1st to 7th. Wallahi, honestly, I'm not being biased, but I have a feeling the football world will be very proud of us. Wallahi. I think we got a spot on. I said this last week, and I think we got a spot on.
Except for Hassanin. Arguing for the...
No, don't introduce him yet because he's going to get his take. He's going to get his take to kind of explain himself.
I think I've made one mistake on this list.
Yeah, but last week basically we did the top 10 top 10 players of all time. And it was pretty good. It's pretty good. I think from 1st to 7th, like I said, I think we got it like spot on. And today we're going to try and answer who are the top 10 strikers of all time. This is going to be very interesting because I know for a fact there's going to be a lot of people mentioned, but I'm more interested to see how many Africans are going to get into this list. You know why? Because we all know every time we're playing with Africans, what happens? No one wants to go goalkeeper. What does everybody want to play?
Striker.
Everybody wants to play striker.
But there's never been a good... We were having a conversation about this the other day. Mendy is the most average goalkeeper, but everyone's putting him on a pedestal, the best keeper in the world.
No.
Let's not even get into that.
That's shocking from you.
Wallah Azim. The only black goalkeeper I ever liked was Shaka Hislop. You know the guy from ESPN FC?
But is he black?
Trash.
Yeah, he's from Tobago.
Where is he from again?
Trinidad and Tobago.
But is that black? Is that Africa?
Hassanin,
He's not African, but he's black. In black, we'll take anyone. If the black person from Mars, if they're good goalkeeper, we'll take him.
We'll get to the goalkeepers when we get to the goalkeepers. But basically, the whole idea of what we're trying to do here is we're trying to go from each position, and we're gonna obviously discuss who are the top 10 players from each position. And today we're doing the top 10 strikers of all time. But before we get into it, obviously I have to introduce the starting lineup. The starting lineup for today. On my left, I'm not gonna do these long, crazy introductions because we did that last week. It was just the first episode, but let's just introduce them really quick. Midris, Ravo, back again. And on the other side, we've got the coach, big coach. Abdullah changed his name. He's desperate for a nickname.
I ain't changed my name.
He's
You gave me the nickname Coach. What do I do? Khalas, I have to take it.
Coach. From now on, just call him Coach. But no changes. And then you got right next to him, the guy who calls himself the Truth.
The truth, man.
Yeah.
Hated by a few, loved by many.
I had to do it.
And then making his debut is someone who actually bombarded us last week during the middle of the shoot. He came on. I cut everything, by the way, Hassan. I'll just tell you right now. Everything you said, everything you were involved in, I cut it all. Wallah.
Me?
Yes, I cut everything.
I didn't say nothing, bro.
And the only reason I cut it, let me tell you this. Before you guys feel sorry for him, the only reason I cut it is because first, we couldn't hear you. Secondly, if you thought this guy's takes last week about putting Cannavaro number 1 was bad,
It's not
this
bad.
guy was comparing Bernardo Silva with Zinedine Zidane.
Yeah, but we're talking about greatest here. Cannavaro and Bernardo Silva.
Wow. Heaven and earth.
I'm sorry, like they're both on the same level.
Huh?
What?
They're both shocking.
Cannavaro and Bernardo Silva.
To be.
What are you on about,
The
Abdullah?
best of all time.
No, but he's not all
If you think about it like that, that's
But he's the greatest in his position ever. So he's the greatest of all time, bro.
Bernardo Silva.
It adds up.
I
We
kind of
answered that last week.
Bernardo Silva.
No, we didn't.
Bernardo Silva. When I think about him, I kind of think of his face. How about that?
Let's finish off the introduction. He's the older brother of Mohammed Afa, the guy that was on Abdullah's seat the other week. Hassanin, welcome to the show, bro.
Oh, thank you.
Listen. I just want you to do me one favor. Hassan, when we're talking about something, when we're talking about a specific topic, please don't go jumping out the window and bring something completely random. Stick to the context.
You told me to be myself, Wallahi.
Be yourself.
I'm just being myself, Wallahi.
Be yourself, but try to stick to context.
This guy looks like Tupac, brother.
I'll try my best, Wallahi.
He looks like Tupac in the movie Juice.
Let's get into it. All right. Let's get into it. But before we get into the top 10, obviously, we have to mention how many people were involved. So everybody in the room was involved. The other people that were involved in making this list was Amir, the guy who called in last week, my younger brother. Ammar, Mohammed Afa, another one from last week. Ibrahim Idris, Dair, Abdul Majid, and Samatar. Those are the people that were involved. And overall, we had 32 players mentioned.
Now, once upon a time, I would have said, is that a lot? Now I know that's a lot.
Now you know that's a lot.
Now I know that's a lot.
Especially when it comes to that
It's going,
position.
and you notice it's going up and up.
Yeah, it's good. Look, strikers. Well, I understand. There's a lot of fantastic strikers out there.
Maybe.
But
That's
it's not,
probably-
I don't
but-
think it's about that.
Huh?
I think it's more about who you've watched and who you've liked personally. That's what everyone's list is
Yeah.
gonna
The
be
list is very
completely
diverse.
different.
It's gonna be
That's what it is.
But if
subjective
you want-
until
yeah.
five.
All,
But if you
all,
don't
all
know
the
what's
lists,
that-
all the lists are subjective, but this one in particular
This one is gonna
Is
the,
very-
the top three for each person. I reckon could
Yeah.
be completely different.
like my list is gonna be
Three
by
different
yeah,
top threes
subhanallah.
for each person.
Yeah. See, my list is by far the best. I know as usual.
No chance.
But
No
I
way,
saw your
no
number
way.
two.
Relax, bro. Relax.
Get in the bin.
Fall back.
Let's
Fall
get into
back.
it. Okay, so coming up at number 22, he only got 1 point voted for by one person. We got Di Stefano.
Who?
Does anyone know who he
Stefano
is?
from Real Madrid.
Real Madrid legend, brother.
Bro.
Allah, who? Allah, I actually never heard of this guy in my life. And he better not be a Fir'aun player too.
He's a Fir'aun player. Only voted for by one person. Ammar is the only
Wallah,
person
you
that
know,
put him in
I
there.
thought we were talking about a pasta for a second.
So
No,
we got
he's-
nothing to say about Di Stefano.
No. Hey, Real Madrid OG legend. He done it all. But as you said, like you don't know him, man. Like unless you go for Real Madrid or you're a diehard fan, you wouldn't
I'm
know
a
who he
Madrid
is.
fan and I don't know.
I thought Hassanin put him. I thought you put him on. Like, Kadita, you know him so far.
I thought to put Fettuccine or Cabrera.
I think so far I won't with
I'll
it.
tell you what.
He actually sounds more like you, like.
Wallah, I don't know who my nigga is. Is that black and white nigga they keep putting in the stats?
That's the one. Yeah.
Anyways, Ammar voted him because Ammar is the type to go and search online top 10
Top
strikers of all time.
yeah.
That's why he's there.
So all
That's
we've
exactly
done so
why.
far is compare him to Pasta or Madrak.
No. He's won.
Are we
Champions
actually
League.
not even going to consider this guy as a player?
Hey,
He was once the top goal scorer of Real Madrid.
I know, that's what I was just going to say. Hassanin, where is he on the list of top goal scorers of all time in
You're a Real Madrid supporter,
You're a Real
Hassan.
Madrid supporter? Go on.
I think I don't think he,
Something just happened. Something just happened the
I've
other
got the
week.
answer for you right now. Go.
I think he's number 3. I think
Wrong.
No, he's not.
Fourth.
He's fourth.
Benzema
just beat him.
He just beat him yesterday.
he just
In the
beat him.
PSG
No,
game.
I think he was number 3. Number 1 I think is Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Number
Second
2 is
is
Raul.
Raul is second.
Raul, yeah.
Raul is second.
Let's move
Stefano
on.
was number 3.
I think I was going to explain it like Azam explained Cruyff. Johan Cruyff last
Azam thought it was a
week.
pasta too, but it's embarrassed to admit.
I don't know him. I don't know him.
Cruyff is not like home with here, bro.
I don't know him personally,
know
but I
him.
know he's a club legend. You know what I mean?
Wallah, I seen that black and white photo of that all white kit in the stands a couple of times.
Yeah.
And then the only reason I know that is because if you guys didn't put that Real Madrid name to it,
All right. Let's move on. It looks like you guys have nothing good to say about him, so let's just move on. Number 21 on the list, there's 2 players sharing. One very old, one very young, one very white, one very black. We got Roger Miller and Haaland. Roger Miller voted for by Midris. Now don't tell me, Mohamed Idris, you watch Roger Miller play.
I definitely didn't watch
Then
Roger
why the
Miller.
hell is he on your
Roger
list?
Roger Miller.
He just danced. That's it.
and all this player would like to play in the World Cup.
Wallah, yeah, he did.
And he actually came back again. And he performed very well, wallahi. But I've never watched him
he's
play.
one of the
wallahi.
first soccer players I remember when I was a kid. Wallah, my dad, like in Africa, he's like a
He was like the first Drogba.
yeah.
The
In
first
Africa,
big
he was
guy.
like a king. Wallahi,
that's him.
And he didn't play in the Farmers like league. He didn't play. He didn't play against like Duds, and he had a great World Cup performances.
Yeah, he had great World Cup performance. And Pele put him in his greatest 100.
And he's got
Yeah,
two
wallahi.
sons that play in the high. He's got both his sons play, don't they? Are you?
No,
No, they're not his kids.
No.
That's
I mean, Pele.
Abedi Pele.
Ghanaian
not
guy.
his kids.
I had someone else.
Roger Miller.
The
Roger
other
Miller's a
player,
Cameroon guy, isn't he?
Yeah, come
Yeah.
here.
the other player that was mentioned was Haaland. You put him on your list.
Haaland. I'll tell you something
Do you
about
think it's
Haaland.
too early to put him on right now?
He's
That's the top 10 ever.
Definitely too.
Top 10 ever.
I'll tell you what I do know, Wallah, yeah?
You put him. You know what you put him?
I thought
Yeah?
I
You
do
put
know.
him 9th.
I want to hear the
I know
explanation
I put
about
him. That's a monster coming, Wallah. He's a monster.
I think him and Mbappe will end up on this list
Inevitably.
And I made the mistake of not putting any like
Youngsters?
any youngsters or any current.
So you don't disagree with that one? Too
No,
much,
I don't disagree too much.
We'll talk about George Weah in a second.
No, we're talking about Joe. And speaking about politics, the guy is the president of Liberia.
I know, but yeah,
Jeez.
being president of Liberia is like being president of the after school club, bro.
Same salary.
Just disrespected an entire country.
That country, nigga, they had a general called General Butt Naked.
Naked, yeah. The fact that this guy won 3 Ballon d'Ors, that just says
Muhammad,
itself on its own.
and
man.
Hassan Ajuz,
Yeah.
he retired at 28.
Yeah, wallah.
This age, guys, are you crazy?
That's mad.
And the great
3
players.
Ballon d'Ors.
Achieved all this before the age of 28. That's crazy.
And the great players, they talk about him like he's up there, bro. So he's not on my list.
I
He
saw
probably
a
shouldn't be
stat
on my
about
list.
him because he was the only guy that I wanted to do research on. He scored 37 goals in 25 games in one season.
37?
Yeah, 37 goals in 25 games.
He ran a muck
And,
in at
and
AC
that
Milan
Euros that
and
they
in-
won in 88, he was injured for half of the season before. They still included him in the squad. He didn't play the first game. He played from second game onwards, took him to the final one.
Yeah, but it was a pretty good team,
He's
but
a machine.
It was a pretty
No,
good
no,
team.
no, but
They had
he's-
Ruud Gullit.
They lost the first game without him.
They lost. They even lost to. They lost to the Soviet Union too.
But you always say that like
What?
about like the team was great.
No.
No,
Because there's other players in that team that they were great too. But
Guess
I'm saying.
the game that he scored a hat trick in the second game. Guess who it was against? Hassan in England.
It doesn't cut. It doesn't cut
It
out.
was
like
clutch.
that.
It was clutch. And he scored. I think.
I like me. I know he's a great player, but Osman Shinino, shout out to him if you ever watches this. Like he always talks about him a lot.
No, he's up
Osman
there.
Shinino
He's
loves
up
him,
there.
bro.
And that's why when I walked in, I was like,
Sebastian
my
loves
list.
him.
You know
needs
how
to
you
work.
did your research on Van Basten? I did my research on George Weah. Bro, this guy's stats are terrible, bro. Horrible.
George Weah.
In terms of goals and appearances, it's terrible.
He's not a number
It's all
9.
downhill
bro.
after 1999. It's all downhill.
Hey boys, let me tell you something. He's not a number 9. He doesn't what? He's not a number 9. Wallahi, he wasn't. And George Weah was. قفل وقطع بس. Well, that's what it was.
Why this guy win?
Translate that, please.
Okay, he was just that. He's the butcher, but sharpening his knife for the game. Well, I think he was just a physical machine. So like he just run, push plays off the ball, big tackles, and they gave him the Ballon d'Or. I feel like it was a bit of a charity case.
So I was just gonna ask.
This is what I wanted to say right now. We all love it because he's African, the only African player to ever win the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, but
is it deserved?
He's the only African player that shouldn't have won it. Well, I think like he won it over F2, but like,
Now you're just hating on
like
What was,
wow,
happening,
no,
what was
man.
happening in world football?
I'll tell you what it was. When he won it, first of all, it was like one of those like, ooh. You know? It was a charity case, Wallah. It was a charity case. It was FIFA just giving like, it was FIFA like,
And you can't complain about it because he's black.
Wallah, but all like, yeah, where's George Weah? All like, yeah. But then no one can think, what's your George Weah moment?
What did he do? What did he do in the season to win Ballon d'Or? What did he do that?
He played for AC Milan.
He was
yeah.
at PSG at the time, right? Was he at PSG or AC Milan at the time when you
PSG,
won?
yeah.
It was PSG at the time,
think
which was a
PSG.
rubbish team at the time too, by the way. PSG wasn't the team they are now. But I think at the time, he... See that silence in the room?
No, like, very silent. This is how much we know
No,
about George.
but like,
No,
you-
just hasn't the question that he just said, "What's your George Weah moment?" You have a moment from everyone.
honestly,
Yeah,
like, we
even
don't have
Van
one.
Basten
You're about
now,
to say something.
Everyone knows the
Yeah.
goal in '88.
Maybe that.
Even Roger Miller started dancing. Something, brother. Give us something.
As soon as this guy said Roger Milla started, let's go like this.
Wallah, but George Weah, wallahi, the most overrated thing that ever happened to any sport.
Next thing that I want you to talk about here, and because you're the only person here that put him on.
Here we go.
And you rate him highly. And I remember I was watching something on Sky Sports the other day, and they were asking Gary Neville who's the player that came into the dressing room or just came into training, and you guys thought, wow, this guy is unbelievable.
This guy.
I think I
Good
know.
Van Nistelrooy. You're the only person to
Oh,
have him
no,
on your
no,
list.
shocking. I thought you were talking.
I'm gonna put him on my list.
Cantona.
Beast. One word, wallah, I'd say. Describe
I was
him.
about to put him in my
Wallah
list.
azim. You guys can watch this guy play. You know, first of all, when Man United bought him, his first training session, there's a video, he done his knee. First training session. It's actually on video too. And he came back, this nigga, as soon as he came to the Premier League, it was a move.
Okay.
He's another player that you hate, Abdullah, right?
Yeah, I hate his guts.
Because of
I hate
that,
his
breaking that
guts.
record.
I was just gonna say I didn't watch him. I knew he's a good goal scorer. I watched him more at Real Madrid, but I think that was after it was finished.
That was, at end of United, he finished already.
And that was just like, to me, that was an old man that could pass the ball, pass it into the net when he gets the chance. That's it. So tell me his qualities at his best at United. Was he quick? Was he strong? Good fit? What was
Strength.
he?
Oh, forget about it, first of all.
Was he?
Because you know what his goal scoring record is? He played in the Premier League for like 4 years, 5 years. I think he's one of the top scorers of all time in the Premier League.
I don't know.
Van Nistelrooy was a beast.
I don't think
he changed. At that time when he came into United, where Arsenal started to dominate
Yeah.
the league, and he came and he changed. I smile like Gary Neville said that in the podcast.
Yeah, he did.
Gary Neville loves him.
Of course,
Wait, when he was talking about it, he said, this guy, when he came to training, he said, he's like, we've never seen anything like this before.
He's straight. He's like Haaland. Oh yeah, back to my point. Remember I was telling you he's like younger. He's like Haaland, exactly like that. But and he's a bit older than Haaland was.
I don't know.
But
Was he though as explosive as Haaland?
Well, I think he was, bro.
Really?
And he's more click. His timing, but he was that player that everyone hated.
You're the only one who rated him here.
You
on
didn't
this.
see him at United. You didn't see him at
No, no,
United.
no,
Abdul Karim, we're watching this. Abdul Karim will tell you.
You would love it, huh?
Oh my god.
All right, moving on.
don't know.
The next player on the list came at number 15. Voted for by Midris and Big Haz over
I think
there.
I know. Who you're talking
Haz, I want to hear from you. You put Shevchenko on your list.
about. I put him actually number 2 in my list. Wallahi. He was number 2 for me. I think he was a very smart player. Wallahi. First of all,
He was.
he was a very smart player. And if I had a team, like a full team, and they asked me to pick a striker, I would pick Shevchenko.
Chelsea, I think was his best days.
What?
Really? That was just gonna say.
worse.
You didn't watch him until Chelsea's. Chelsea was downhill.
Yeah.
Chelsea,
AC Milan.
Chelsea
He had the worst. That was one of the worst signings by Roman Abramovich.
Yeah.
It
Hey,
was
I
terrible.
think I'm gonna let my
It was
homie
horrible.
run. Abdullah's got the Uzi ready for this thing.
Guys, his goal scoring record was immaculate. Wallah azim. I don't know what you guys are talking about in terms of
No,
him
no,
not
Chelsea
being on
was
that
in
list.
Milan.
AC Milan, that was his
In
glory
Milan,
days,
that's
bro.
what he's
I
known
know,
for.
but I personally think I liked him more in Chelsea.
That's when he was great.
That's when he was a superstar.
I watched him at Chelsea. I thought it was good. He was a great player, and his goal.
I hated watching him. I always hated watching him. He always bored me. He made me go to sleep. When his goes on, it's like Ayaz. He's an irritating player, wallahi.
Irritating is Van Nistelrooy, Hassan. That's irritating.
Van Nistelrooy was like overwhelming, not irritating. This thing is irritating, bro. Him and Inzaghi just pests.
Hassan's point of saying like if he had to make an XI, he would pick that number 9.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. I don't think I would put him as my number 9. But in terms of him being on this list, definitely there, and I'm not mad at all. And that's why I put him on. He definitely should be on this list.
Anyone mad at that? You mad at that?
Abdullah, maybe the way he played or something he didn't like.
I don't
But
know.
in terms of-
I don't know enough about him. Just even by readings out or hearing about him, I don't know enough about him to even consider
And
him.
So
you know
why?
why? Because he doesn't come up enough because he wasn't that good.
No,
No, that's what it is.
Abdullah Wallahi was great.
No.
Abdullah Wallahi was great.
Secondly, you can't bring any average striker that's got good numbers as this. He has to have more to his game. We're gonna talk about other strikers where you think he's like he can do the job like what Shevchenko and stuff, just score his goals, but he was a lot more than that.
There's more to their skill set.
A lot more.
I agree with that.
And
There's-
they're the greatest of all time.
I reckon if he stayed at Milan, he
No,
would have
what?
been like, he would have been ranked higher, but because after Chelsea, bro.
The money, because
Yeah.
Abramovich came in.
But Abdullah, that's why this list is.
If he stayed at Chelsea, I mean, if he stayed at Milan, he would have been running amok, bro. I would have been like, oh, this guy's a beast.
And he
but-
played in the Serie A. He played in Serie A too, wallahi, in a tough time.
Unbelievable league that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Abdullah, that's why this list, in terms of strikers, there's a lot. That's why it's a very, like how you guys were saying at the start, it's subjective, which there's things that other people look for in strikers that others don't. Hassi, for example, people look at strikers, they just want him to put the ball away, bro.
Okay.
And the goal scoring record and stuff like that.
If you ever watched him play, you wouldn't put him on your list.
I was gonna say, this is what I was gonna say. Like everybody, yani, when you're rating a striker, most people just rate them on goals. This next one is very interesting because he came at number 14 and he shared it with Eusebio. We got Alan Shearer here sitting at number 14. The top goal scorer of the Premier League didn't even make the top 10.
Yeah, I don't know why I put him so high in my list.
You don't agree with
I'll
that?
put him high. I'm just,
You think he shouldn't be? He shouldn't even be considered.
Look, Azam, we always speak about this. There's a difference between a footballer and a goal scorer.
Yeah.
If you've played in midfield, you like more the football playing strikers or the football playing players in general. For example, Aubameyang cannot pass a 10-yard pass. He can't make it. But he'll score 20, 25 goals a season. Alan Shearer's like that.
No,
It's the same.
Alan Shearer wasn't like that, wallahi.
He's not flair, Abdullah. We get that.
Shots from outside.
What about outside the box? Remember that finish in Newcastle? The one
That is not football. Like I'm saying, playing, like receiving.
Number
knocking
nine,
at
number
playing.
nine.
Okay, Abdullah, on that point, Inter, you're saying he's not a flary player. He doesn't play football. He doesn't play the game like that. But should that make his ranking lower?
Absolutely not.
For me, because of the players I like, definitely.
No, but
Yeah, okay.
I'm not saying because of you. Generally, in football, should that be that position should be lower for someone who can't play?
It's hard to argue with stats.
Because goal scoring is a skill set. Being there on time, being able to finish your chances. We know players that flop all their
Alan
chances.
Shearer
Right?
had to finish every chance. I'll tell you why? Because them chances ain't going to come again.
Half chances too.
Half chance. I'll tell you why? Because he only
He's
gets
just
three.
chasing loose
They're
balls,
gonna
right?
get creative
He only
again.
gets 3 shots a game, bro. He has to put 2 away. And you know what I'm saying?
And he did, and that's why he holds the record.
And he's a winner. He won in the Premier League for the not an average team at the time,
But by the way, this is not the first time. You know, wallahi, I've seen other people do this kind of content, and nobody rates Alan Shearer like that. No one rates him.
I think he should be higher.
Everybody doesn't rate him.
I tell people don't rate him online because he's
Plain Jane, that's what
Yeah,
it is.
he's not
plain
fancy,
Jane.
he's not
And
doing
you know,
tricks.
people love personalities.
Soccer's a job, straight up. They just go there, they work, they do their 9 to 5, they leave.
And Alan Shearer was just a celebration with his hands up. It's just-
And you know how Abdullah,
If he had a little bit of the Ian Wright factor, he would have been loved.
Ian Wright,
right?
everyone
Ian
loves
Wright
him.
is
Yeah, that's
likable for no reason.
Hating it.
No. He's Arsenal legend, everything. My guy, Mamushkila. Who cares? But in terms of ability, people like him because he's smile.
No, he's
nice
got his
guy.
ability too, bro.
Black Lives Matter. That's why they love him, bro.
No, well, I tell you what, Ian Wright. I feel like he's always trying to chip the goalkeeper every single time.
But back to how Abdullah goes like in terms of he wants more in a striker, just not his goal scoring. He wants to be more flary and stuff like that. It's like I say later when you talk about defenders, for example, these days defenders there's more to their game than just defending. You know how in terms
a
of
good
playing,
point. That's a good point.
In terms
He's
of
getting
playing out, stuff like this. You know how the modern defender. You know how you say back in the day, the defenders, their ranking was in terms of actual defending.
Speaking
itself.
facts here, wallah.
In terms of Cannavaro, Maldini, these type of players. In terms of modern defending now, could they play out the back? Could they do these type of things? For me, it's in terms of the player in his position. He has to do his job foremost, which is in terms of striker, which is goal scoring, or defending, which is defending at the start. Everything else is a bonus, bro.
Wallah, that's
you know
true.
what I
That's
mean?
so true.
A midfielder,
with the
if he's
basics.
flaring, start with the basics.
That was true back then. But now,
Oh, and
you're
he
at
was
the team
playing back
because
then,
your
so we
league
can't
can
really
play.
judge him based on right
Exactly.
now.
How I judge a footballer is this is the current climate that we're in. This is how football is played. This is how I understand it. A striker needs to give more to the team. For example, there's gonna be strikers when we get into the top 10, maybe top 5, players that can do it by themselves. Alan Shearer couldn't do it by himself.
What do you mean? He played an average team.
Chill.
He played an
I want you to go and watch the goals. ما تقول لي.
I've seen-
you
I've
can-
watched-
Hey, he does the job, man. He's underappreciated, bro. He's a number 9. The list is top 10 all 9s, top 10 number 9s of all time. He scores the goals. He gets to.
He
the
scores,
thing.
That's
the top
making it
goal
way too
scorer.
simple.
The top goal
Yeah,
scorer
that's
in
it.
the top goal scorer in England of all time, 260 goals, playing for Blackburn and Newcastle, bro. Like, what are you saying?
That is a big
There's a lot there to try and overlook. There's too much. There's too much. You can't overlook it. But I want to say something. You were just talking about me as a coach or me as a manager. When I'm thinking for someone. I'm looking for a striker that could do a lot more than just goal scoring. If someone is that good at goal scoring, you have to surround your whole team around him.
Yeah, you won't even
You
think
make
twice.
him the star of
You
the
won't
team.
even think twice.
And she'll make any starting 11 automatically in any coach. In any system. Wallahi would.
And I'm
Wallahi,
saying-
you said it perfectly, Hassan. All these other things is just a bonus, bro.
He scored, like I said, he scored 260 goals in the hardest league with the two most, like, Blackburn and
Wallahi,
for Newcastle.
this is what I'm trying to say. Like, I feel like for someone who scored, he's the top goal scorer of the Premier League history. I feel like he's disrespected too much, bro. No one rates him as like the top 10 striker.
Top goal scorer by miles.
Yeah.
By miles.
And it hasn't been broken since how long now?
And
Okay,
Harry
okay.
Kane, they say Harry Kane's gonna break it. But like, look, and you feel like you've been watching Harry Kane forever already, haven't you? Like, scoring all his
Harry
goals.
Kane has so much more to him.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree
Harry
with
Kane's
that.
the best player. Look, he got
agree with
most
that.
assists last season and top goal scorer. But at the
he's-
same time, bro, I think X Factor is he's a great poacher, man. He knows how to get into those positions to score the goals. Do you know what I mean? But like, you gotta be
His
appreciated for
goals are
that.
tappings, cuz his goals are blast from outside. It's like, fuck, man. Well, he's good.
Yeah.
But being in the right place at the right time too as a
That's a
striker,
skill.
it's a
That's
skill
like-
set. Wallah, Azim. Even you know who was
Look at
very good
Lukaku
at that?
struggling with it now.
Closer. Miroslav Closer.
Yeah.
Miroslav Closer was very good at that. He was always good at being in the right position at the right time. Miroslav Closer.
It's so hard to be a great striker on a shit team. Well, it's not. Yeah, we're underrated a lot. Like, all these players, how many strikers do we have?
What did you say, Hassan? Say that
It's
point
hard to be
again.
a good striker on a shit team. Like, I'm talking about a high goal scorer. Because wallah azim, like, look at all the great strikers and look at the teams they played on, and they're all the common like fact is most of them played on good teams. Because you're a striker anyways, you're
need
getting fed.
service.
You need service.
Yeah.
So the fact that he scored so much without
You reckon
without,
he should be higher for that?
I
for
think
that
he should be high.
particular reason?
Even I respected him like on the list.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to talk about him. I don't want to spend all day talking about
Go
it.
to the next name, bro.
Let's move on to the next one. The next one, 2 players sharing. Number 13, we've got, and we were just talking about him, Harry Kane and Raul.
Okay. Let me start with Harry Kane, boys. Come on.
Because you put Harry Kane there. Yeah.
I want to comment on this.
You
one.
put him you put him. I'm very surprised. You put him number 6 on your list.
There's players there that I'd be disrespectful that I put Harry Kane above them. But bro, Harry Kane has it all, bro. He's the perfect English striker. Modern day English striker too. You know, we're talking about Alan Shearer, bro. He can't do the passes. Bro, Harry Kane can drop back, do a 1-2 with Son, bro. And you see this season, him and Son's connection since Conte came into place. Bro, these guys are running amok, cuz. I'm telling you, Harry Kane, best striker in English history, I reckon.
History.
There's no way Harry Kane is the best striker
History.
in English history. Because there was this name that we just spoke about, Alan Shearer before,
And Wayne Rooney, bro.
and Wayne Rooney.
No,
And Wayne
I'm
Rooney.
we're gonna get a team
I'm
soon.
talking about by the end of the career. By the end of his career, he's gonna be the top pick.
Unfortunately, it's probably right by him.
But you know what's the issue?
How old is Harry Kane? How old
the
is
thing
Harry Kane?
He's 27, 26.
Hassanen,
Is he like 29, bro?
Hassanen,
He's not, bro. Look.
I will never rate this
Look him up right
guy.
now.
I will never rate this guy.
Mohammed doesn't like him.
I will never rate this guy to the stage he is until he gets out of that team and moves to a bigger club and does what he's doing at a bigger club.
He's 28. He's
Hassanen,
28. But the thing is, the trophies. That's the only thing. That's the only thing anyone can use against him.
But that's not his fault.
But he scores. He scores.
Not even that, but when we talk about Hassan, for example, not the day before, but the day before that, Hassanen, what did you say, Hassanen, about Harry Kane? Hassan said he's better than Benzema.
Let's not get into that yet. Let's not get into that
No,
yet.
no, no.
because we're gonna-
But my point, what I'm trying to make is, we can't put Harry Kane on that pedestal yet. Is he a good?
Is it because he hasn't done enough? Is that what
he
you're
hasn't
saying?
done enough?
Or hasn't done it long enough? Is that what you're saying?
Hasn't done
he's done it long
No,
enough.
he's done it long enough.
more
He has
than
done.
long
He's done it long enough. He hasn't done it at a big club yet, at a big stage yet. When you talk about, when you're comparing it to all these strikers that we've named, Bahassi, they've all played at big teams and they've done it at a big stage, bro. Harry Kane, he's not done enough to be on this list. Wallah Azim. Maybe his goal scoring record is immaculate. And
I don't know why you're
believe
hating
he's
on him so much. First of all, at the start of the
Hey,
season,
Muhammad hates him, bro.
First of all, at
He
the
sent me
start of the
a
season,
message.
your club, Manchester City, put in like 110 million bid for him.
I
And
don't
he
agree
tried
with
to
that,
come.
wallah.
No,
I don't
no,
agree
no,
with
no.
that, but-
He
yeah.
is maybe the most complete number 9 currently in the world. Easy.
more than
Most
Benzema.
complete number 9. 100%. 100%. Power, strength, passing, shooting, everything. No, everything. And at the end of the day, when he's done playing, he's definitely going to be in the conversation with Alan Shearer and Wayne Rooney up there. 100%.
I want to know something, Abdul. What's your ideal striker? Because I feel like you're putting too many midfielding attributes to it.
So, maybe I am.
I think that's what it is. Because he's a
Yeah,
good
but-
passer. That's why you rate him very high.
I cut you off right there, Omar.
Whenever Harry Kane goes 1-on-1, does it ever cross your mind that he's gonna miss?
Absolutely not.
There's no.
Absolutely not. He's clinical.
No.
He's clinical, Abdullah. He's clinical. There's no doubt about that, wallah.
As I'm saying, I'm rating him because he's good at passing. No, when he's there, he puts them away. Right foot, left.
Abdullah, but you
foot,
didn't rate Alan Shearer like that then.
You know what? I think Azam was saying that point.
Come on,
because you are rating Harry Kane now, but Harry Kane doesn't have the attributes that you are looking for in a striker.
He has what Alan Shearer had in terms of being clinical and finishing every chance, playing for a shit team and scoring bags of goals, and plus the other.
One thing went out, but one thing missing.
The
But
trophies?
he didn't win. Alan Shearer's goals.
Won him a title. Yeah, Blackburn, one season out of his whole career.
Yeah, but that
the
doesn't
rest,
matter. It's
the
good
rest
enough.
was all goals for nothing.
Abdullah, Harry Kane hasn't
The
won
hard
nothing.
thing on Harry Kane is this. Listen, Harry Kane would have left.
Harry Kane's one league title or one season where he scores goals and wins the league is coming.
Sorry, no.
He just
Never,
has to move.
never.
He just has to move.
This is the hardest thing for Harry Kane, yeah? Harry Kane's a beast, Kaz. And every time he wants to like run amok, build a good team around him, we sack the coach. Every time happens, bro. Happened with Pochettino.
I'm sorry,
Happens
but that nigga
Crack
has to
team.
leave for him to win.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
If-
but
if he
the
does-
fact that he has to leave to win shows not what. Hey, I want to say something. You know Harry Kane and Son. Yeah, their combination is like the highest.
Yeah.
Because do you know who they beat? Chris Sutton and
Alan Shearer.
Alan Shearer.
Yeah, from that night.
So
from
when
that Blackburn
when
team.
they had that, they won the league.
But you know what's the problem? We're leaking goals. We're leaking goals in the back. That's it.
I just wish he won the Premier League or a cup. I'll tell you why I wish that, because then his status.
I want to get into this, and let's just end this whole conversation in the future. Out, you know, when you're talking about a player didn't win this Premier League, this guy didn't win these trophies, all that. For someone like Harry Kane, we're all in consensus here that we know he's the best Premier League striker right now, right? Mohammed, can you agree
Yeah,
to
right
that?
now.
He is right. He can go to any team he wants. He could go to Manchester City if he wanted. If everything was available, if the money was right, and he could go and he could win 5 Premier League trophies.
But
in a
it
row.
won't certify anything. It won't
No. I'm saying, like these. I don't think we should consider them, bro.
Hold on.
He would have. Like, if he's not good enough for Manchester City because there's a Manchester City striker out there that he won't be able to replace, then maybe you can have the conversation. He can't be at a big club, blah blah blah. But because for other circumstances, he's not in a big club.
Yeah.
That's not something you should be holding against him.
Guys, we know Harry Kane, if he goes to City right now,
He'll win everything.
he'll have a 30-goal season, he'll win the league.
He might even win the Champions
and
League.
the Champions League.
Yeah.
Azam, Rayan and Azam, you can put 5 other strikers in that same situation, and they're going to win anyways. So it doesn't certify your greatness.
but Hassanin-
Wait, one point. You know, when we're talking about the great, absolute great, we're nitpicking. We're looking for little because they're all great. So greats have to like.
Okay, do you consider Thierry Henry a great?
That's what I was just gonna say.
Do you consider Thierry Henry a great?
You know
his team went a whole season
You
unbeaten.
know my opinion about Thierry Henry.
Anyone could have been a
Thierry,
striker.
if he could rock up if he rocked up just in one more big game, if he rocked up in one big game at all those finals, he'll be probably the greatest player of all time. But in any big game, lock in the police report, file the missing persons report early because this nigga's not there, bro.
I know you don't rate him, but in generally,
No, he rates him.
generally you do rate Thierry Henry though, right? Generally.
No. It's not about rating. We're talking. He'll be probably the greatest on this list if he could appear in big games. So to answer your question, that's why I don't care about the titles he won. He won the World Cup. He won the Champions League. He's won everything, hasn't he?
What I'm basically
Let me
trying to
finish
say
this
is,
point
I'm just trying to say that for someone like Harry Kane, I don't think you should be putting something like him not being in a big club against him.
I don't.
No, I think Wallah he should. Wallah.
And it's so
Wallah,
rare
he
to
should.
find now, man.
Hey,
Players doing
well, you know
he's
what?
doing.
I hope he stays at Tottenham and ends his career at Tottenham. Wallah. I tell you why.
He's not going to win a career. He's not going to win a trophy there, bro.
Let's not money. Yeah, wallah. If he goes to Man City and wins, like Henry won Champions League with Barcelona, did that help his legacy?
No.
So you're gonna say if he goes to Manchester City and wins all the Premier League trophies, he can
He can
win?
win 10 in a row.
It doesn't really matter, huh?
It doesn't matter nothing. It matters to him, so he can say, "Oh, I'm in that club." But like I said to you, when you think of that chap, do you think?
But you rate Aguero,
huh?
You rate Aguero.
The greatest ever foreign striker in the Premier League.
Thank you very much.
Get out.
Thank you very much, Hassan. Hassan, people are saying
it's the same thing. He's still in the
Hassan,
Manchester City team.
When you early days. He started that, bro.
If Harry Kane was there at the time, so you're telling me they wouldn't have won all those trophies?
No way, bro.
Aguero is a maestro.
Hassan, that's what I'm saying. You know what I talk about Kane, bro? They're putting him in that level, bro.
Nah, Muhammad, wallah, he's at that level.
He's not like Aguero's level.
at that level.
You're sitting on the fence hard. Where are you, bro? Are you with Muhammad?
I'll tell you what it is, wallah. I want Harry Kane just to win a Carling Cup. I just want him some sort of silverware, and he hasn't. And I'm holding that against him, unfortunately, wallah, because he's had the big games. He had a Champions League final. He's got the place where he could have done something.
Yeah,
That Champions League final, that was a bad call by Pochettino, firstly.
Yeah, I mean, Tottenham supporters, you guys are always singing songs,
The
bro.
bench, bro. How does Lucas Moura score a hat-trick, win us the game, take us to the final, and get dropped to the bench? That's the dumbest thing, bro. It's a bad call.
Let's finish
Come
off on Harry Kane. I was trying to just probe some questions here to get some conversation started. But the other player that was with him was Raul. Nobody said anything about it.
Boring.
That guy's boring online.
I wonder who put him on the list.
He's a
put him on the list as well.
royalty player. Speak on Hassan. Royalty player, right?
He made it to the Champions League semi-finals with Schalke at 35 or 36, I think.
How many goals did he score?
Huntelaar was a good
Yeah,
player.
that's what I was gonna say. How many
But
goals
he
did
still
score?
made it there.
He made
And
it
he
there,
scored a
you know,
goal
made
in
it
the
there.
semi-final.
Everyone on the bench made it there too.
It's so bad at explaining
He was on Huntelaar's backup dancer. Kind of.
Raul, I'll tell you something about nigga, yeah? One word describes him only, wallahi. Plain.
No. That guy is one for just nostalgia. But you know, Raul did this one. Raul did this one.
The greatest quality of a striker is his positioning. And Raul had a great positioning. Wallah.
Hassan, I don't know.
You know Hassan, wallah, you know what he said? You know what he said,
Hassan,
Raul?
you're keeping the room very quiet, but then you're not backing yourself up here, bro.
You know what Hassan, you know what Hassan goes, boring. Raul, all I hear is his name, bro.
No, Muhammad, I watched him play a lot about growing up.
He's a scorer, man. He's a top scorer.
He scored, but when he retired, everyone's like, thank God. Go, bro. No, wallahi.
On that, a lot of people were just waiting for him to leave Real Madrid so Ronaldo can get the number 7 shirt.
Everyone went to leave everywhere he went. People just waiting to move, man.
You know, what I was gonna say.
I just hear his name, wallah.
What I was gonna say, you know how before I was saying there's not many great Spanish strikers. It's just Fernando Torres, Raul, and maybe David Villa, right? And then David Villa, right? Those three are the great ones. Do you think?
I've never seen a striker less technical than Fernando Torres.
Thank you.
Those are the three ones that come to mind, anyways.
Thank you.
Footballer.
But anyways, do you think he basically had that long career at Real Madrid just because he was Spanish or something? They wanted to have a Spanish player.
Yeah, his story is he actually went to Atletico Madrid first, the academy, and the academy shut down, and then he went to Real Madrid. He was the most overhyped player. Wallahi, he was.
You know, Azam
He
made a
scored, man.
fantastic
He won
point,
cups.
wallah.
Hey, don't put some.
Hold on. Address
Address
that point that he said, like Azam. He goes, do you think? Yeah, he's up there just because he's Spanish pretty much. Yeah, that's what you're saying.
I don't know.
How can he be up there as one of the highest goal scorers in the history?
Abdullah, he spent like 1,500 years there, bro.
Azam, wallah, repeat your point,
I
bro.
want to ask you guys something, yeah? But straight up, I was thinking about the other day, wallah, straight up.
Yeah.
You know, Sunday morning, we all wake up, yeah? We want to see the highlights of the night before, yeah? First thing we do, watch Premier League highlights, yeah? Whenever we see all the BeIN Sports, La Liga highlights, do you ever click on them?
Yes, I do.
You do.
The whole thing.
When you see Barcelona versus Alaves or Real Madrid versus Valladolid, do you know why you don't watch it? Because you already know who won. It's all about by how much. That's a ladies' league.
He actually brought up that point. You know where this comes
That's the
from?
league where everyone goes to pat their stats, get the stats high, kida.
It comes from because Mbappe, you know how he's saying that now he wants to.
He's an obsession. Everyone's going to Real Madrid. People want to leave the best clubs. Pogba wants to leave Man United to go to Real Madrid. Mbappe wants to leave PSG to go to Real Madrid. What's that? What is it? There's the white uniform. I tell you what it is, bro. It's the overhype of that pasta, the pasta guy, the
Pasta guy, Di Stefano.
I want to say something. When it comes to La Liga.
What's his name? Mario Luigi? Some Mario?
Like these guys they're completely out of it.
I'm just going to say something.
Got the like on street.
Why this pasta thing is really enjoying the last relax.
Allah, he's squeezing everything out of it.
I think we need to move on. Allah, from this story. We need to.
All right, the next player on the list coming at number 12. And when I was briefing you guys, I told you, listen, be careful when you put these players on. The next player on the list is Pele.
Skip.
I think so, wallahi. I think so. Because I don't think there's a point of speaking about.
Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Wallahi, there's no point. Wallahi. Me, I knew it's gonna happen. Let's move on. Wallahi.
That's how much did he score? 1,000 goals or something, yeah? And is he a number... Pele's a number 9?
No, he's not though.
I think he'd be a 10, man.
I don't think he's a number 9.
But the thing is, at the same time, he'll take the ball from the defense, dribble the whole team, tap him.
That guy was all over the pitch, bro.
Hey, listen, boys, let's talk about number 9s. Don't talk about players that you guys score.
If we're not sure what he is, don't put him in.
Wallahi, all the
But because
but
guess what
I
happened?
mentioned are number 9s, wallahi.
Someone put him first and someone put him second. That's why he's so highly ranked.
I know Amar definitely one of these.
No. It was homeboy here, bro. He put him first.
Because he's the greatest player of all time. He's the greatest player of all time, but is he the greatest striker? Because he's the greatest player of all time.
You know
but
what?
He's the greatest striker of all time? That's a different story now. I don't think so either. When I think of Pele, I think of greatness as a player. I don't think of a striker. Like we said before, we think of some players. You think of their greatness in different ways. Like George Weah, we're great for absolutely nothing. That's his greatness in itself. The fact that there's nothing there. Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on from Pele. Let's get into number
Abdullah's
11.
like, move on.
Yeah, wallahi.
Well, let's move on. We don't even know where he played to even get started. Anyways, let's move on. The next player on the list coming at number 11, we've got Romario.
No, Romario is good. You know, the only reason I put Romario on
You put Romario on your list, bro. This is very interesting. You've never seen Romario play. I don't know how much you know about Romario.
not much, but it takes you to be the best, near the top of the best players in the world, to be the leading striker for the Brazil national team and win a World Cup. He did that in '94. That's enough. Any Brazilian striker.
Listen, he won the World Cup. All I did.
I tell you what he liked about him.
Again, that Brazil team stacked, cuz.
On top of each other, and they won on penalty shootout by Roberto Baggio missing that penalty. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, they all count. And
No,
then
not
I
that.
want you to do something, Azam. Who wore the number 10 for that team? '94. That's what I want to know.
3 times, nigga.
I want to know who wore number 10. My number 10 is my main Brazilian player. I want to see.
Name is ringing right now.
Yeah.
I think it was him.
He's the main guy. Romario.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I tell you what, Abdullah
you're saying
Romario, the
the
street he
team is
does.
stacked. The team is stacked. ما بعرف شنو. He was the guy. He was the guy. With the team being stacked, he was the guy.
I think Abdullah is going back to the flary thing, bro.
No, Abdullah likes play because Abdullah he shows up to the crowd. He does moves always with the ball. He puts the ball in his head. Does these ones for the game.
Wallah, Abdullah, wallahi, that's what it sounds like.
Can I say something?
Wallah, that's what it sounds like.
I feel like this is a player. If he was around and playing right now, you wouldn't rate him because he's not a player that can pass the ball, like move around, that kind of thing. He's more of a skillful player. Gets the ball, does his own thing, and
I
scores.
didn't hear nothing about being clinical. I didn't hear nothing about that description,
I told
wallah.
you, I don't know anything about him.
Then why are you putting him on the list, bro?
Because he won a World Cup. I don't rate any of the other trash strikers. Shevchenko?
Abdullah, you've never said anything about this guy being clinical. You've never said about Shevchenko. At least I can back it up with him having a great scoring
what?
record.
Wallahi.
Girl backing it up. Muhammad, you said his good time was at Chelsea.
No, but that's the time I watched.
Get out of here.
At least I could talk about his goal scoring record. I said, it's all you talked about was the guy was skillful, the guy was this. Well, maybe back to Hassan's point of him doing this in front of the fans, but I talk about nothing.
Wallahi, boy, this is probably the most time anyone's ever spoke about. This is the most time ever people spoke about Romario. And to finish it off, nigga, he plays for Adelaide, nigga.
Who? Romario?
I'm surprised you don't know this.
Well, I didn't know that one.
Wallahi, he played for Adelaide. But
Not
3
even
games
Melbourne
with
Victory.
an ass out there, stomach out here, hair all grey. He scored. Wallahi, how long he played for? 3 games.
Adelaide United? A-League team.
I think it's all the A-League. This is the NSL Su.
What the hell?
Wallahi, Romario is one player that looks East African. Wallahi, you should have a shit. Wallahi.
He goes his hair backwards like this, like the niggas do that. Fire.
Anyhow,
Moving on. That was a howler, wallah, Abdullah. That was a howler.
No, wallahi, it's not as big a howler as Shevchenko. Sit down.
Abdullah, wallahi. Shevchenko, I don't like him.
Wallahi, don't tell me
You
Shevchenko.
can't compare that fat ass and the lame nigga, man.
Shevchenko's bigger than Romario.
Wallahi, I think he is.
Get out
I
of
love
here.
that.
Next one. I think is the most underrated striker. No, in terms of top 10, the most underrated striker in history. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, coming at number 10, and
I put him up there.
and still playing today, and still killing it, bro.
Killing it. Only striker, I think, to be scoring in 4 decades, and he's going into his 5th, and he's still playing.
Now, in the 4th now. Bismillah,
Azam, Muhammad.
No, he played in the 90s, 2000s.
Yeah.
He had
Milan?
he had him rated the highest. He put him second. I put him 4th. We both had him the highest rated.
He's up there.
He was on my list, wallahi. And I'll be honest, wallahi. I'll be honest.
Cut him off.
My brother slipped by saying his name on something, and that's when I put him back
And
on
you
my
put him
list.
back. I saw you. Yeah. You texted me right away.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Because I actually forgot about him completely.
I
But I'll tell you what,
completely
man.
forgot about him,
You actually didn't have him on your list, Abdul.
You know why?
But you know the only thing that killed. Oh, sorry, Abdullah.
How many golden boots has he won? He scored all these goals. How many golden boots? I don't think he's ever been like. See how? No.
That's
See
probably why.
See
That's
how?
probably why. Wallah.
See how Lukaku? See how Lukaku last year was dominating the Italian league, and the whole world heard about it. When did I don't
Abdullah
No, he
Ibrahimovic-
always wins. He always wins the top goal scorer of his league.
Yeah,
but he
always.
doesn't win the golden boot. The golden, the
Yeah.
European one, right? No. That one is reserved for
Abdullah
Suarez,
just-
Messi, Ronaldo. That's reserved for
And
them.
his goals, and his goals never. I forgot about Suarez, yeah?
No,
What are you doing, bro?
Hold on. Abdullah.
Abdullah's list today.
Azam.
When I walked in, مش قلت لك
Yeah.
This is crazy.
But I didn't know it's that trash. Putting Romario.
Let's finish off on Ibrahimovic.
So I was one point with Ibrahimovic, wallah. You know why?
Volleys.
If there's someone that's a player that's not a winner, it's him, bro.
Yeah, wallah.
Just because of the Champions League.
Yeah, wallah, the Champions League, Abdullah.
Whatever he does, it never leads to winning. It never leads to winning, ever. Like if you wanna bank in your team not to win, sign Ibrahimovic, and you best believe you're not gonna win.
Yeah, you know.
Might win
I
a
don't know what
league,
he's
a
batting.
little cup, but
You
you're not
know,
gonna win a league.
it's sort of like what Ronaldo did. Like
What about when he came to Manchester United and won the League Cup and the Europa League?
and Europa League final? He done good Europa League final,
What about that?
Boys.
Come on, man. Come on, man. He was the main player for Manchester United.
and in a stacked team too.
No, come on.
A pretty average team, wallah.
Very average team.
And that's a question I wanted to pose to you guys, wallah. Don't you think Ibrahimovic, in his United period, had more of an impact than Ronaldo is having United right now?
First year, definitely. Yeah.
In his first year at United, he won more in United than he did in the first 15 years of his career. Like, what him? I watched him. Do you want to watch him play? I watched him play in 2002 World Cup. I watched him play. I was in year 8. You know what I'm saying? So he's had a long career.
Played in 2 World Cup.
What he did?
He did,
With
yeah.
Sweden.
Wow. Back to your point too, UEFA actually put
That
him.
might be the only player that played in 2 World Cup that's still around right now.
Well, I played 2002 World Cup. I remember this the game against Senegal when Senegal took him out. I remember he had an alright game.
Now,
that
wallahi,
game.
honestly, this guy's underrated.
Underrated?
Wallahi, I'm sorry, bro.
And-
He's
and-
underrated.
It's the
bro.
Champions
No, we
League,
know, like the
man.
Champions
It's the
League. And
Champions League, man.
UEFA actually put him as the best player not to win the Champions League, wallah.
He's the best player not to win anything.
No.
He's won a lot of trophies. He's got a lot of.
No. He has
got a lot of
trophies.
trophies. Hey, if you wanna
It's
win
just
a
the
league title, yeah.
Champions League.
Moving on. The next player coming at number 9, we have got someone whose stats again not as good as people think. Didier Drogba.
Fall back.
Clutch.
Wallah.
That's all.
Big game
That's
player.
It. That's it. Clutch.
Big game player.
Big game player.
And by the way, you know those terrible stats? Half of them are probably in big games. Half of them probably in cup finals, semi-finals, quarterfinals, that kind of thing. But it's very weak. In his numbers, I looked them up. Wallahi, they're not the best.
What, his goal scoring record?
Yeah, goal scoring.
Yeah.
Wow, how
He
many
barely got double figures and double assists in the Premier League. Rarely he gets in the 20s. It's always like just high 10s.
For how long?
Huh?
For how long?
Oh, for about 10 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And big games, book it in. Huh? Book big game, big games like for Africa, for his country, for his club. See, talking about Henry. He's talking about Henry, the best. He's the exact opposite. Book it in. This nigga is gonna have a game winner.
But I'll get back to the stat, but back to Azam with the stat. But he's a big game player, wallahi, Drogba, but like throughout the season, in the EPL, you just you don't see
I
enough
think
of him,
injuries
wallahi,
too,
Azim, bro.
injuries too, he has a lot
You don't
of
see enough of him. He does rock up in the big games, like I mentioned before against Bayern in the Champions League. But throughout the season, bro, like
Muhammad, the double-digit stats, 10-year career, big game player, enough.
but not to get on this list, Hassan, wallahi. If he was performing like how is he performing throughout the season in the EPL, then I could put him on this
Hey,
list.
the double digits, 10-year career, and big games. Like how many people can you put in that club? How many people can you put?
No, forget that. Hassan, now if a top team is looking for a striker, minimum that striker has to score on a regular 25 league goals. League goals. خلي the whole.
They'll swap that. They will take that. Our club will take that. They'll swap that for a winner.
Hassan, wallahi, I love the guy, wallahi. Wallahi, I love the guy, but not this list, wallahi. Not this list, wallahi. Consistency wise, he's not there, bro.
I'll give you a good example.
Mourinho said he's the best player that he. But after McLaren, he said McLaren is the best player he ever coached.
Mourinho
He goes
was
after Mourinho. Wallah, he goes did a Drogba. I'll tell you why. Because big games you can count. But like I said, to you, answer my question. Wallah, how many people can you book in? Like I said, the long career, good scorers, not great scorer, good scorers, and big game player. How many people are in that club?
Not many.
Not many. Wallah.
I'll give you one example. I was about to say Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale is a big game player. And that's why Madrid kept him for 10 years.
No, but hold on. Do you think that's why maybe Eto'o was better than Drogba in terms of that?
I thought this is a player that tormented Arsenal, bro, every single year.
Throughout the season, Eto'o.
Eto'o tortured teams, and Eto'o's a big game player too. Eto'o's the most underrated player of all time.
Then Drogba, yani. I'm saying in this point, if we're going to talk about this point, I would rather Eto'o in this position than Drogba.
All right, let's move on. Let's get into the next two players, and this is where the conversation actually starts. Number 8, we've got Benzema and Samuel Eto'o.
How is Benzema number 8?
Number 8.
Explain to me.
Wallahi, Benzema after
yesterday?
After what we saw yesterday,
How is he number
we
8?
did our list a little bit too early.
But why? Why? This is for me. This is a recency bias. Wallahi.
Yeah, if we had
This
this
is recency
convo
bias
last
right
week,
here,
would you put him
Why?
there?
No. He's had a great career, but for me, it's like whoa. After yesterday's show, big game players. We're talking about big games.
Hasanin, but I've been saying Benzema he's always been doing that. Wallahi Azim. Why for you, especially you've been watching this even since the Leon days. Yeah, why would you have to see that? The fact that you had to see that to say, whoa, Benzema,
Muhammad,
it talks a lot, Wallah Azim,
this is
about your knowledge of him,
And I
Wallah.
always thought this is, the ceiling is like
same.
R9. Then the next level where it's like Lewandowski, Suarez, them niggas that do it by themselves.
Season is
I've done a
doing it, he's doing
Benzema
it this season.
before when Real Madrid, when they had Cristiano Ronaldo, when they had other... Cristiano Ronaldo was doing more of the goal scoring and stuff.
You can't outshine Cristiano Ronaldo.
No, you can't outshine Cristiano
No, you
Ronaldo. That's
can't.
what I'm saying. As soon as Cristiano Ronaldo got out of there, like him, Benzema stepped up in that position where he could be doing what he was doing there. But Ronaldo, because Ronaldo was there during that
you can't
time,
outshine him, bro.
and I reckon if Ronaldo was there, if Ronaldo wasn't there, Benzema would be doing this even longer.
No, but then in the Giga, when Suarez went to Barcelona, did you say Messi outshined him? That's why Suarez was delivering. No. The Giga. Suarez still scored a lot of goals, and he was still made. And the press made him a part of the success of Barcelona. Like he was definitely a
He was a
major
major. He was a major contributor. But you know when you
no,
saw him,
no,
you know when you saw him the most when Messi got injured and him and Neymar were tearing it apart.
Thank you very much.
That's when it happened. That's when when Messi was around. No. When Messi
Not
was
to
the
the
star.
level. Wallahi, he's right.
It's so obvious.
Wallahi,
I've
he's
seen
right.
that season. Wallah al-Azim, it's very clear.
Wallahi, he's right.
I'm saying, Benzema played with Ronaldo. Suarez played with Messi. Who did a better job at their club?
Suarez.
Suarez. That's
Benzema.
why I'm saying Benzema is a level below.
Yeah, no. I'm not saying Benzema is better than Suarez.
But Muhammad is arguing that.
No. But my point is what Azam was saying. My point is when Ronaldo left, because Messi and Ronaldo, these two players, when they were at their team, Abdullah, they were outshining like Luis Suarez and
But
Benzema.
you shouldn't be that far below, is what I'm saying. You shouldn't be that far below.
He's far
You
ahead,
should be a
bro.
little bit closer.
He is far ahead of them.
Let Hassan talk because Hassan thinks he's the greatest player of all time.
I think Benzema is the greatest player of all time.
But Hassan's joking, wallahi.
No. That's what I actually think.
Hassan, keep going.
That's what I actually think. The reason why is, when did Benzema join Madrid? I'm gonna ask a question. When did Benzema join Madrid?
2009?
9.
Yeah.
Why is he the only player from 2009 still here?
Because
He does just enough, bro. He was
I
doing
feel
just
like-
enough to stay in the
I feel like
team.
he never makes the point. I feel
Hey,
like he goes-
I said it.
he makes it.
He was doing just enough. Higuain was in the team as well. He wasn't doing just enough. They got rid of
As a
Higuain.
Madrid fan,
As a-
I used to hate Benzema because he used to miss a lot of balls. But the reason he used to miss is because he used to let Ronaldo score. He let Ronaldo be the top scorer. And Higuain,
Hassanin, you
Anybody
can't-
letting no
I
one
tell
do
you-
shit.
No, exactly.
Right
No
now-
footballer lets another footballer
Right.
take the spotlight.
He was.
He can't.
Only
It's okay for-
Benzema did it.
That's what it is.
Benzema-
But this nigga saying he's letting him.
He
This guy
takes-
saying
he
he's
did
letting
it.
him.
He takes
Letting what?
he takes the hype.
Mate, exactly. Talk to your mate.
Hey, listen, boys, let's talk about Benzema. Hey, if Benzema, I'll ask you about something, yeah? If Benzema wins the Champions League of some like this year, we'll get this conversation about him changes completely.
Very
100%.
different. It would be very different.
Hassanin, but why? Hassanin, but why? Why? Explain that point. Because he's won already with the Champions League.
No, I remember we talked about this. I don't care, but a lot of players. I don't care about this. The niggas on the bench winning, like said.
Yeah.
So they don't win. A winner is not someone.
Don't disrespect him like that. He was not on the bench.
He wasn't on the bench.
He was a part of the team. He did his part, but
Azam, is Hassan been contradicting himself all life throughout this episode?
How many Champions League finals did he play in?
Who?
Benzema. How many Champions League finals did he score in?
I think the last one I can remember is the
Great question,
last one.
How many Champions League finals did he play in? How many did he score in? How many did he score in?
You don't remember?
I remember the one against Karius. That's the only one.
Against who?
Against the Liverpool goalkeeper when he.
yeah, that was
The goal made a mistake.
yeah.
That's the only one I
No,
remember.
Wallah, do you think that game was rigged, Wallah? Honestly. Huh? Wallah, that game was rigged, Wallah. Wallah, I think that game was rigged, Wallah.
You guys are all over the place. Focus
Wallah,
here.
I
man.
reckon
Focus.
Yeah, sorry, Wallah. I'll move the point.
Boys, the point I'm trying to say is, you get what I'm saying? Don't give me by this, oh, he's won. If, see what he did yesterday? That's what I'm talking about. We're talking about
And
greatness.
this is the thing: a striker is capable of carrying a team to the league, carrying a team to the
That's what I'm
Champions
saying,
League.
greatness.
That's where
We're talking about
when you
greatness.
do that, then we speak.
If he wins about this, Suarez
a
done it.
very average Liverpool team. Suarez took him within points, games, minimal games of winning the whole league.
1-0
And that team was trash.
I'm just gonna
And
say
he
something
carried
very
them
quick.
all the way there.
I'm just gonna say
Let
something
him
real
cap
quick.
it off and then we'll move on.
Yeah. Right now, Madrid is top of the table. Highest assist.
Trash league?
Yes. Highest assist. The number one highest with the highest assist is Benzema. Highest goal scoring is Benzema right now.
Okay, good. The other player, let's finish it off. The other player was the highest rated African player, Samuel Eto'o.
That's
That
the
was only other.
African GOAT.
The most underrated player of all time.
You know, I only remember him as a goal scorer. I don't remember him as a top player.
And by the way, his goal scoring records are phenomenal.
He's a
He's
goal.
got a really good goal scoring record.
And I said,
You know, it's insane. He won the Champions League.
And he won everything.
Yeah, he
Except
won-
the World Cup. But he won everything else. Everything else he
won
won.
African Cup of Nations
Everything
as
he
well,
won.
twice.
Twice he won the African Cup of Nations.
He went. He was at Barcelona.
I think he won the Champions League twice, didn't he?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
no, no.
Inter
He won
and
it
Barcelona.
he won it 3 times. He won it
What about Real
06.
Madrid? In 2000, I wasn't in Real Madrid.
Yeah, but he wasn't a player.
But he wasn't playing, but he was
Wasn't
playing.
starting 11.
He won it twice, I think.
Yeah, 3 times.
Three
06, 08, and then 09 when he went to Inter
Oh,
Milan.
you so. Oh, hey, man. Oh, my God. Yeah, he
Yeah.
won it 3 times.
Yeah, man.
Bro, this
He's
guy is a
beast,
deadly,
bro.
deadly player, bro.
He's a
Wallahi.
great striker.
Tammy Abraham. Tammy Abraham won the Champions League too.
No, he made a good point, but Eto'o scored in the big game. Eto'o scored against Arsenal in the Champions League final.
You know, there's a conversation that's happening right now. Who's the best African player of all time? Some people are putting Mohamed Salah up there.
Yeah, Torre.
Mohamed Salah is
Yeah,
looking.
Salah.
Mohamed Salah is looking.
Definitely.
Mohamed Salah is looking like that.
Definitely. None of them niggas had that consistency in such a tough league. And to come,
Yeah,
to come
totally.
and make that big of an impact, win the league in 30 years and the Champions League, and 40 goals every year. There's no argument.
You know, Mohamed Salah, every time we think about him, we think it's just recent. He just came to Liverpool. This has been happening for like 5 years now, bro. It's been 5 years.
you know who I thought?
If anyone has a good 5 years back in the day, we'll be like, oh, if Ronaldinho had 5 years, Ronaldinho only had like good 3 years.
You know who I think of that too, Azam? I think about like that with Kane. Like, I don't think he's been doing it for that long, man.
He has.
8 years.
He actually hates Kane a lot.
Yeah, it's
He hates Kane.
Kane signed for City at the start of the season. Right now, Kane would be top of his
No, one
list.
guy think I'm
He'd be wearing a Kane jersey right now. He'd be wearing a Kane jersey.
Daira, when I was on the phone with him before, Daira was like, this guy's been doing it for like 7, 8 years, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was doing it for that long. That's all I was gonna say.
Bro, we used to have him in our fantasy team, bro, back in high school, bro.
This
Imagine
next one,
that.
this next one is.
Yeah, well, as a fan, you going for Tottenham is a whole. Tottenham winning is a whole fantasy, anyways. You know what I'm saying?
this next one, I want you, Hassanin, to explain yourself. The next player on the list, coming at number 7, we've got Wayne Rooney. You didn't put him on your list.
I didn't put him on my list.
You did not put him on your list completely.
Cause wallah, Azam
Bit
this
like
list.
me. Azam, you rushed us.
Azam this.
Nah, bro. I was gonna put you on the spot today to answer for what you did. You put him as your best ever English player.
Wallah, you had time, wallah.
You had time,
Wallah, you had
bro.
time. What are you on
I
about?
wrote Harry Kane twice on my list.
But Wayne Rooney didn't even cross your mind.
Cause Suarez didn't cross my mind.
When you said explain it, I thought
Wallah,
I thought you were telling him to explain it because he actually put him on the list.
Asmani, Wayne Rooney, the English goat.
He's coming at number 7 anyways, but you didn't have him. I thought you didn't rate him like that. I was surprised, Allah.
Nigga, I'm an Everton boy. He's an Everton boy. He's the greatest club. He's the greatest player in 2 clubs. Yeah, and his greatest player, his greatest player in the biggest football nation,
Then tell us the
in
reason.
the best team.
Why didn't you include him?
Well, I just I don't remember my list.
Yeah, I don't like
Harry
that.
Kane
I still
twice.
huh?
Harry Kane twice.
But you know what? I've got something about Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney, like, he played striker most of his career. But then, like, yeah, he wasn't.
He was more of a
But
10,
majority,
yeah.
majority.
He wasn't.
The
No, no,
majority
because
of the
hey,
career.
Van Persie came, that's why.
All right, the next player on the list, and Khalas Abdullah, you didn't put him on. We understand. Luis Suarez coming in at number 6.
I can't believe I can't believe I didn't put him on.
I forgot about it.
Wallah,
He slipped my mind.
he Wallah,
Wallahi,
I completely and with the
completely.
biggest regret. And bro, this nigga clutch.
I want to say something about Luis Suarez. Now, we know when everybody talks about him being one of the best strikers in Premier League history, how many Premier League seasons did he have? And are we just basing it on those 3 or like 4 good seasons and that's it? And that's enough for everyone.
I don't think he had that many.
He could have done more. If he stayed, he would have done more.
Nobody ever judges it like that. Everybody judges it by how close he got
Liverpool to winning the title.
the title.
Yeah.
His
And
immediate
secondly,
impact.
what he went on and did.
And what he
be-
did, even what he did, like the impact he made, he came on and bang with like 35 goals. Like,
Straight
he
away.
was
Do you think his impact at Liverpool was more than Mohamed Salah's one?
No, Salah's one is a bit longer. And Salah's one came with
Salah's
big,
like
other big players
players.
and trophies.
Salah had a better coach. a great coach in his time,
Yeah.
and Salah had a few better players in that time. Suarez was 35 goals plus in a stacked league at the time, like with United, blah, blah, blah. And he brought him close.
Taban team.
And even international football.
Allah, that wasn't for his team, that was for himself, Allah. This guy is selfish, brother.
2010.
Because we're all Africans, that's why you heard us.
Yeah, wallahi.
And the way he
I hated
celebrated,
him for
the way
it.
he celebrated when they
Yeah,
missed the
piece
penalty.
of shit.
But he's a winner, bro. This nigga. The only reason that killed me about him was the racism thing with Evra. That racism shit, Evra, he put a sour taste in my mouth a little bit.
He's a piece of shit human being, good footballer.
Yeah,
Crazy
wallahi,
footballer.
shit human
And
being,
don't
bro.
forget, this guy won top goal scorer when Ronaldo and Messi were both at their peaks.
Even when he did,
Don't forget that.
He's right, he's
That's
right.
what people sleep on, man.
I hated him for 2 reasons.
Because you go from Real Madrid and because you go from Real Madrid.
I hated him for no. For 2 reasons. First of all, because he rejected Real Madrid when he was in Ajax. That's number 1. And number 2, for what he did to Ghana. You know what I mean?
Anyways, moving on to the top 5, we got number 5, another player that Abdullah didn't put in, Lewandowski.
Leave me alone, cuz.
Abdullah, what the hell are you doing today, bro?
Lewandowski, cuz. That's what he
What
called
are you
it.
doing,
You
bro?
know, I'm gonna say this. I don't know if Hazam's gonna edit it or not. Wallahi, I told you. You know, how I told you I don't want to come to this strikers one.
But you can't say, wallah, you didn't have enough time. What the hell?
Lewandowski, bro. That's what he called it.
There are some names that should straight away they should hit you.
I don't know why
Suarez,
Hassan is giving us a
Lewandowski,
face.
Wayne
I
Rooney.
don't know why you're giving that face.
These are players that should automatically cross your mind.
List, wallah. I had the best list, I think.
The reason why some Finnish niggas like Romario, Eusebio are in my list is this is why.
Junkies, wallah. Abdullah put junkies on his list, wallah.
I completely forgot about these guys.
He put a
wallah.
bunch of brassies on his list, wallah.
Yeah, it's Romario. Cuz.
Wallah,
You know
wallah,
what?
but-
Anyways, Hassanin said Lewandowski is trash. I forgot about Lewandowski. I
He's
put my
a
hand up for
goal
that.
scoring machine. Okay. Hey,
I tell what I already online. Because I remember him at Dortmund.
Yes.
He was a gun.
And he was a gun. And in the big game, fans, get your binoculars ready.
Not really, wallah. Not really, wallah.
nah, hey.
I'll bring a game, wallah. I'll bring a game to you. I'll bring a game. When he celebrated like this, bro, he scored this.
Real
against
Madrid cars,
bro.
4 goals, bro.
Champions League, wallah.
Hassan, are you just going to dismiss any player that doesn't have a good game here or there?
Yeah,
One
man.
game that he doesn't turn up, khalas, you out
He
of
won
here.
the Champions League.
You
Wallah,
you dismissed Thierry Henry, you dismissed Lewandowski.
How many big players does a player get in his career? How many big games does a player get in his career?
He won the
Not
Champions
many.
League, right? And don't forget this. There's the Poker Cup. The one the league with Dortmund and the Poker Cup too. They destroyed. Remember when Kago was
They got
playing?
all the
He
way
was
to
the
the Champions
striker.
League final with Dortmund.
Hey, but I'll be honest, this is less an ability and thing, more than like this a style. I just don't like him.
He's a goal
I
scorer.
don't like
Yeah,
him.
you just don't like
Then,
him.
wallah. Say that then. Why you gotta say he didn't rock up in big games? The big games, wallah, he did rock up.
Well, like big games, I watch him there. I didn't follow the missing persons report, but you have to bring your binoculars. Like he won't speak completely, but he's not as impactful as. Well, that's the truth, wallah.
No, but Hassan.
You know the point they were trying to make about Harry Kane earlier, going to Man City. He did exactly the same thing.
Yeah, see,
he went to Bayern.
I don't care
No,
all
bro,
these.
but he
So I
had won it
completely-
already.
I'll give
He won with
example.
Dortmund.
Oh, hey, and this is why I judge him. Like, you know when I was in a different time in my life when he was buzzing, when he was going good, I was buzzing in a different way. Well, straight up, yeah. And I watched him. First time I ever watched him play was at Champions League final, and he had his chances in that final against
he didn't do nothing.
Bayern Munich. And remember, like I told you, when it comes to the greats, we're nitpicking. To be a top 10 player of all time, it's a very small list.
Wait, hey, I got a
Hassan, but
game.
what's
I got a
your
game.
point,
I got a game for everyone. Remember that game you got subbed on, and in like 5 or 6 minutes he scored 5 goals or something.
Yeah.
9 minutes.
Against who?
That's a world record or something against Wolfsburg, but it was for Bayern.
Ah, against who?
Let's leave
Against
that.
who? Against who?
Against Saber Wolf.
But hey, what?
I say, wallah, ma'alish.
Hassan, what I say is he won the league with Dortmund. He won the league with Dortmund and just went to Bayern. Big whoop. He just wanted to win the Champions League. Wanted to go to a bigger club.
Hassan, but you gotta get to
And
the
he's been
point.
padding those stats
He already
against
won.
Bayern Munchen, Gladbach, and all the teams. You can't say, those teams.
Maybe, see, if you said that point, maybe I'll get it. But that's not maybe you said that point. Like, in it,
But we have eyes, Hassan. We have eyes, we see ability.
be ability, wallah.
And like I said to you, well, straight up, this
We
is
just don't like him.
By the way, if it was that easy, any professional striker would be able to do the numbers that he's doing.
Because he's a great striker, but is he one of the greatest? I don't think so.
He's up there. Hey, he's up there.
I say, wallah, your explaining has been a bit. It's like you've been saying a lot of things, but I don't know what you're trying to say. Say that then.
He's not my friend, and I've seen him big games where he hasn't performed. Like,
How?
He has.
Hassan
stepped
does
up,
not-
bro.
Hassan
Watch
does
him in
always
the
gonna
Champions League now. He scores, bro. He just scored this week. Like he scored a hat trick.
but
He
then-
scored 4 goals actually. Salzburg. Yeah, and watch. Let him get to the quarterfinals. Let him get to the semifinals. He's gonna score goals. That's the
Hassan,
thing.
there's always gonna be time.
Trust me, he's a goal scorer.
I wish we
how
get
about
him for the Champions
and how
League.
about I put any money here? If Bayern Munich go all the way to the end, Even if they go to the semi-finals, I bet he won't score. I bet it'll be Sané and Gnabry that will score more than him.
Moving on.
Nah, he'll still score.
Moving on. Number 4 on the list, and Midris, this is your boy. You got Kun Aguero coming at number 4.
You know, when I hear that name, you know all I hear? Aguero! You will never ever see anything like this again, wallahi. Unbelievable, bro. We just said it before. People, when they think of Aguero, obviously they think about his period in Man City, but even at Atletico, even before he moved, he was unbelievable.
The greatest foreign player in the Premier League.
No. There's an
He
argument.
is the greatest foreign player. That's actually a fact, wallahi. That's actually
His
a fact.
conversion rate's
That's
insane.
actually a fact.
Henry, Suarez, David Silva. They're all. David Silva.
Fall
Henry.
back, man.
Abdullah, relax, bro. Wallahi, he's great. Like, don't put him in not Aguero's level. And then Aguero.
What I like about Aguero is he can turn half chances into a goal. Barraha.
That's Alan Shearer, bro.
No. Forget it. Because that nigga trash.
Don't talk about this guy, wallahi.
But in terms of when you argue between him and Henry had the ability to run with the ball, take 5 niggas on and score. Aguero doesn't have
Abdullah,
that.
ma'alish, wallah, Abdullah, you're going back to your point about flaring, wallah. That's all you're doing, bro. Abdullah, that's all you're doing. We're not talking about.
Let's just end this here. You know what it is? We can't make this whole. Okay, it's your opinion and everything, but you can't just put a blank like this and say if he can't do this, khalas. Just like this guy saying if he doesn't perform in one big game, that's it. I can't rate him.
That should be the
Oh, wallah, it shouldn't.
If someone does it for 10 years and then he doesn't pull up for one game, you're just gonna dismiss those 10 years?
Hold on.
But if he's want to be one of the greatest, he has to win the big games.
Azam, I'm only saying this
Aguero's- I'm not
because this guy
arguing,
is saying he's the best foreign player in the Premier League.
Ever.
He's not.
He is, wallah, Azim.
debatable,
Wallah,
it's
he is.
debatable.
Wallah, he is. Abdullah, wallah, Azim, David Silva, I put him up there, wallah, like you said. But
Henry.
Everyone says Henry. When people talk about the greatest, people always say Henry. And I think Henry, but like I said to Azam, and Azam, wallah, don't dismiss my, if you're not doing the big games. Let me tell you something here. If you have one big, great game, we're talking about greats. You can have a long, good career and not have a big game, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, you could be a great player. But if you're talking about the greatest players, you have to perform in the big games. If you don't perform in the big games, you're not
but
greatest.
Aguero has had that.
I'll give you.
Aguero has enough.
Thank you very much.
I'll give you like an
Don't worry
example.
about Azam about that then. Don't worry about
No, I don't agree with that. You know why? Because I'll just give you an example. There's a player for Liverpool, his second striker. He performs in all the big games. Who? He comes on
Origi.
as a substitute and he scores in every
Oh
big
my
game.
God, this guy's the most unique player of all time.
So you rate him so highly now, yeah?
Oh my God, I do.
Okay. You see the way you're rating players?
But he hasn't done it for consistent. But
If Origi starts every game, he's not scoring. I guarantee you. that.
I agree with you too.
Okay?
I agree with you too. I agree with you too.
Then you
No,
can't rate players on 1 or 2 games.
No.
That's not good enough, bro.
Azam, he's
It's important, Hassan. Don't get me wrong. It's important to rate a player on big games.
If you, Azam, we're not talking about greats. We're talking about greatest.
Yes.
When we're talking about greatest, it includes a long, good career. So it does include that. So Enrique hasn't had that.
But you're putting this as the first thing. You're not looking at the other
when you
stuff.
have a long
That's the
career
problem.
and you have a great game in the big moments, then you're one of the greatest. If you're missing one or the other, then you're not in that conversation.
Okay, if you've got that long career and you just don't have that, does that khalas, that means you're out of the equation?
When you had that chance, if you never had that chance, then I can't hold that against you. But if you played in 2 Champions League finals, you played in the World Cup final, and at these games you didn't perform, then you're not in my greatest. Unfortunately, I'll tell you what. Like I said to you, how many great games are there? Like in a career,
You're right. Look, it's part of it, but I feel like you're just dismissing everything else that they do.
He's saying you're looking at that solidly. He's saying.
You're looking at that. That's the only thing you're looking at, and that's it.
Look at this. Wallah, I'm not. I'm saying
them.
if you don't have that,
Yeah.
then you're not on my list.
But Aguero has had all of that. Everything. He's had that longevity. He's had that big games. He's had everything
Conversion
alright.
rate,
So has
He's-
Henry in the Premier League. So you can't tell me there isn't one thing you can tell me about Aguero that Henry didn't do.
I agree with that one.
Check
can't.
how many goals.
Wallahi, Muhammad, I gotta say this one's very tight. Wallahi, Thierry Henry and
It's a tight
Aguero,
one,
that's
but
very
check
tough.
Very
how many
tight,
goals
but-
in
very
games.
tough.
But in terms of goals,
It's
he's
not
had
by
high-
miles, and by the way,
he's
you
had
can't
higher.
say like one is better than the other by a mile. This is
Not
very
by a
tight.
mile. We can't talk
This
about a
is very
mile.
subjective.
But if we're talking
When
about
I say Aguero is the best player ever in the foreign player in the Premier League, I say Henry because he's done it for longer than Henry. But
he's done a longer.
He's done
That's
for
like,
longer.
I was gonna say longevity.
7 years.
Longevity.
Henry signed in 99.
99,
2000
yeah. And left in 2007.
No. 99.
2007 he left,
Yeah.
and but no,
8 years.
Aguero did it for a bit longer.
Good 8
Aguero did it for
years.
like 10 years.
Aguero's done it for a bit.
Muhammad,
longer.
you saying it in a different tone isn't going to change it. Henry's better.
All right, let's move on.
Henry's a better player than him, but
Yeah.
Aguero's a great. Henry's a better ability. Sorry,
You like
Henry's a better
Aguero
ability.
more, and that's it.
Henry has better ability.
It's
Aguero
finished.
was a better player.
No chance.
Let's move on.
Keep going.
The next player coming at number 3,
Wallahi was.
and I think this is fair. we said maybe don't put players like this, but I think this one is fair. This one can pass. Cristiano Ronaldo coming at number 3.
Boring.
No, not boring. Because he played as a 9.
I thought I was going to say Brazilian.
Sometime in his career, he played.
Like the last 3 or
He
4
did,
years.
yes. And that's what I want to talk about right now. Is this good enough to be like considered one of the best?
No, he's not a number 9.
If that's the case, false 9 Messi.
The first 4-5 years he played as a winger.
Yeah, he did. We know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Ronaldo is Cristiano Ronaldo is a winger. We all know this. But towards the end of his career, he realized that he can't do the running, he can't do the dribbling anymore, and he moved towards the middle.
You know, I thought
He
you were
was
talking about
scoring
Brazilian.
these goals and scoring 40 goals a season from out wide. No problem. So that doesn't mean him moving in for the last 3-4 years doesn't make him a number 9. He's not number 9. He was doing the same job that he's doing now from out wide. He just ran out of legs. He moved into the middle so he can be closer to the goal, and that's it. He's not a 9.
And when he did it, do you think that matches all the rest of the squad?
Azam, you said top 10 strikers of all time.
Yeah.
Don't tell me worst goal scorers.
That's what I want to know. This is the questions I'm trying to ask here. Cristiano Ronaldo playing 3 years as a striker. Yeah, a goal just like Aaron Shearer. Same thing. No, he's a goal scorer. We discussed this right now. Aaron Shearer is a goal scorer.
What do we look for in a striker?
Anyhow, it doesn't matter. Goal scorer, striker, same thing. But basically, the only point that I want to bring here, did Ronaldo do enough for 3 or 4 years? Is him being the best at it, winning golden boots and winning. By the way, when he was at Juventus, he was winning the top goal scorer of the league every year, bro. He was killing. So him doing it for those 3 years.
Now it's the league, but Tammy Abrahams can do. He's gonna do.
Can he be considered as one of the best to do it at that position?
No.
Even though he did it for such a small period.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why too.
I'm not getting fooled by those penalties and headers, wallahi. I think there's penalties and headers and there's tap-ins. You're not fooling me with that, miss me with that bullshit.
And Adam, all those players that we mentioned before, they've all been doing that for a long
That's
time.
the
Looks like we
career.
all appreciate a number 9, a true number 9.
True number 9.
I love this. I love this, wallah, how we stuck to the spirit of number 9s, wallahi.
I should have put Olivier Giroud in there.
That's a number 9.
That's a number.
That's a number 9.
Trezeguet.
And by the way,
That's a shit number 9. That's what he was, wallahi. Abdullah, if you put him there, wallahi, Abdullah, if you put Oliver Giroud there, shifted the icing on the cake of howlers today that we had, that would have been it, wallahi.
No. This guy, he played in the World Cup final, starting 11.
And-
Where was Benzema, Hassanin?
Ban.
All right, let's. Abdullah, you'll get your moment to shine right now. Coming at number 2, we've got Thierry Henry.
I put him on my list too, you know
And
that, yeah?
deservedly so.
I put him on my list.
Deservedly so. The only one that's better than him, we all know who it is.
Benzema.
Tell your mate to fall back in your own style. Wallah al-Azim, tell him.
Back.
You actually think Henry is better than Benzema?
Oh, come on, man.
Benzema cannot lace up Henry's boots. Why? He can't tell him, come tie up the boots. He can't.
Oh, back Hassanin up
Who's
here.
the player?
Zinedine Zidane said Karim Benzema is the best French striker ever.
He's being nice to the player that he's managing. Lakhbat.
He played with Henry. He won it with Henry. I'll tell you why. In the finals, he was trying to look for through balls, and he realized Henry, is he there or is he? Where is
Abdullah,
he?
what was the player you were going to mention?
I want to hear
What
one.
the
I
player
want to
gonna-
hear one good thing that this guy can say about Thierry Henry. Please, can you give us something?
I'll say something here.
Wallahi, all this time you've been just roasting.
I have a confession. I have a confession to make, wallahi.
Everybody's favorite.
Growing up, I was an Arsenal supporter.
Yes. All of us. All of us.
No.
Because of Henry.
Growing
Because
up,
of
I
Henry.
was actually an Arsenal supporter, wallahi.
And then the 2006 final wrecked it for you.
Why? Because I had my binoculars on, I still couldn't find that.
No, Azam, let me
You
say.
better not edit that.
Yo,
bit.
no, I'm not gonna
I
edit.
had my binoculars on, wallahi. Huh? And guess what? Before that, in 2000 against Galatasaray in UEFA Cup.
Yeah, Arsenal UEFA Cup final.
Against Galatasaray.
Yeah, he disappeared.
World Cup. How many finals this guy just disappears? And that game, wallahi, I was watching that game with Khalasir. And I told him, bro, this nigga better not disappear today. I was to warn this nigga better not disappear. We had our binoculars on. We had the missing person report
That was
in
a bit of
pencil,
shootout.
just in case. But that game, bro, and he had his chances. He had his chance in that game.
Because
And he
what
fucking
pisses me off is
disappeared.
his chance in the Champions League final 2006.
That's what I'm
He
trying
had
to
a
say.
big.
He
chance.
had a howler.
He had a big chance in that game.
And I was, by the way, I was 8 years old
But he
when this
had,
game
he
was
had a
on.
good World Cup like, before that. wallahi.
Muhammad,
No, in the
he had
Champions League
Saudi
final
Arabia,
before
and don't tell me this shit.
But his World Cup was still good. wallahi.
Muhammad, he
No,
played
no,
in
no,
8.
Azam.
Muhammad, you ever talk about
Boys, we gotta say something good about the guy, bro. He's coming in number 2. And all we're doing is just roasting him.
He scores goals. He scores goals.
Azam, you ain't talk about big games or big games don't matter, blah blah.
I didn't say big games don't matter. Don't wreck what I'm saying, brother.
He said that should be one of the criteria in the criteria.
It's one of the criteria, but it's not the only
You know,
factor.
some players they get a sniff of that great game and they know they take it. This nigga had like 6-7 chances in 6-7 big games. How many quarterfinals? How many World Cup semifinals? World Cup finals? He had chance after chance after chance, and that Arsenal won 2006.
That was a big one.
I was going to school that morning, and guess what? I said to myself, this guy better not shank this game. And that chance he had in the first half, when he missed that chance, I knew Arsenal was going to win anymore.
Let's talk about something good about this.
Hey, did he score? Did he score in the finals?
You need to go and watch his goal against Tottenham, where he runs from inside his own half. You need to go and watch the game against Liverpool, where he takes on 3, 4, 5. Jamie Carragher's on the floor by the end of it.
Yeah, no. Hey,
He scored some goals.
Yeah, sorry to cut him off. Do you know what I always say about the big games?
Hassan, by the way, you can't say sorry to cut you off and still cut people off.
I will. I will.
That's like bagging someone and then saying, no,
Yeah, brother. My bad. But listen, I'll tell you why I always say about the big games. Because everything else about him is perfect. Everything else about him is perfect.
Yeah, he was.
Everything else is absolute. You're not talking about Ronaldo being the complete or the. But everything else about his game is absolutely complete.
And he's physically built to become the super athlete, bro.
The closest to R9 you were saying
Is Henry.
maybe Henry.
Yeah.
Maybe Henry.
But what's difference? What difference is Henry? What's
Maybe.
difference?
Yeah.
What's difference? But R9, the big game, World Cup final, 2 goals, Golden Boot in the World Cup. You get what I'm
He
saying?
doesn't muck around.
But Champions League final.
And let's get into him. We got number 1, R9.
Full clap.
Come on, man.
Everybody will have to clap their hands.
We praised him last week. We praised him this week.
I
We'll
will
praise him every week.
We'll praise him every week. I tell you why? Because with that fat ass, with that fat gut, with that body, he rejuvenated his career maybe 3 times during his career.
I read something where Carlo Ancelotti one time he came, this guy was weighing 100 kilos, brother. Carlo Ancelotti goes, sorry, I can't play you. He goes, listen, do you want me to, am I a runner here or do you want me to score goals? He went in there, brother, he scored 2 goals. This guy was 100 kilos, bro. R9. When he was at AC Milan, remember when he was fat?
Yeah, and I would actually score goals and then he'll do this, like actually like sub me off.
I'm done.
Ibi, listen, we're talking about the top 10 strikers of all time. We just got to number 1.
His biggest
and
fan
it's
ever.
Clearly, Ronaldo, Nazario. I heard you apparently you're his biggest fan. He's the one that got you into football apparently. You want to say something about Ronaldo?
I put him number 1, obviously only because I've witnessed his greatness. You know what I mean? You can always you're going to say Pele is the best because of 3 World Cups, which is the biggest achievement in football. But bro, Ronaldo, he's so great, bro. He's got 2 phases. How about that? He's got pre-injury and after post-injury.
That's a good point.
Phase.
Yeah.
He's played with the best of the best players and still stood out.
Ibrahim was talking about like in a eulogy, but he passed away, huh? Tears was falling down.
Because
If he loves him.
Ibrahim, my brother, loved him.
We can't praise Ronaldo enough. But anyhow, that was the top 10 list, boys. I think this one. A lot of
This episode,
Not our best, wallahi.
It's
We
not our
apologize,
best.
it's not our best.
It's not our best, wallah, not our best.
And Azam, I'm sorry, it's gonna need a lot of editing.
It
for
does,
it to turn
wallahi.
out anywhere near last week's episode. I'm sorry.
Wallahi?
I'm sorry.
I thought I had some hot takes today.
I'm sorry.
No, today you were just repeating. If you're not a big game player, khalas, you're not a player. Blah blah blah.
I'll tell you what, wallahi, because
I knew the strikers list was gonna be like this.
We didn't have time. We didn't have
Because
time
it's
to prepare.
very like it's a personalized thing.
Yeah.
You like your type of striker, and that's it.
But you know what, wallahi, there was very good points made here though.
Today?
Yeah, wallahi.
But
There was so many players though, like 30, 31, 32 players.
But you know, I'm disappointed in all of you today, wallahi, that you guys, Abdullah's with me. Abdullah Valley's the winning, like big game, the big game's the winning.
I do, Hassan. No, we all do. We all value big games. But the way you were talking today, you were just saying, if you have no big game, I can't rate you.
No,
Basically, that's what you're saying.
Am I greatest? Yes.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. And honestly, I don't agree with that because if you have a catalog of trophy, a catalog of all these
Yeah, but it's that
stats-
padding, Azam. It's
Azam,
football.
Azam, this is the thing. The trophies count, but if I can take you out of that team and still win that trophy,
Then it doesn't count.
you're
No, I'm not saying that. You didn't get me. I wasn't saying that.
Contributes the most
In the
is
big
guy that
game.
scores is the guy that does the job.
No, like I see, right? The only thing I'm saying is just the Thierry Henry factor that he's talking about.
No, it's because that would top up. We're talking about him.
So you're saying Thierry Henry can't be in the top 10 ever?
No, he's in my top 10.
No, Azam. What I'm saying, Hassanin counts top big games as just finals. That's not big games.
No, Semi-finals. No.
Henry turned
Semi-finals.
up. And the whole invincible season. You know that game against Liverpool when he scored a hat trick. They had just got knocked out of the Champions League by Chelsea.
Yeah.
And the whole team was down, and they were down. They were 1-0
Yeah,
down.
big games not only final. Big games
And
are
he
other
comes
games.
and he took the game better by himself and scored a hat trick.
Abdullah, but there's finals.
That's
But
to carry them as invincible.
but there's also finals games.
I know, but you can't disregard what he did in the league because he didn't perform in one final.
And in great teams, in France, for example, in great teams, like my brother Ibrahim said, shout out to Ibrahim, I made a good point about Ronaldo being in a team full of superstars and still looking
being
like
the
the one.
guy.
In
Yeah.
France, Henry doesn't shine like that. Didn't shine like that.
Nah, he didn't. He
Wallah,
never
he
did.
didn't. He never did.
You can't outshine Zidane.
Because but he had chance like in that 2006 World Cup. If he put in a little bit of a shift,
Yeah.
they would have won that World Cup too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he
Henry
disagreed with that.
won the Euros, the Champions League, and the World Cup without contributing much at all.
All right, let's finish it off. Anyhow, that was our top 10 list. People, let us know what you want to see next. Obviously, we're going to do the top 10 midfielders, but if you want to see something different, list it down in the comment section and we actually might pick it up. That's us for today. Do you guys want to say anything?
Abdullah, today, why you so
Wallahi, I'm sorry.
Allah,
Genuinely sorry.
Wallahi, we spent so much time on some howlers of yours.
Wallahi, sorry.
Ibrahim's 2-minute take was probably more than all I
Yeah, wallahi.
My list, wallahi, was perfecto, wallahi, than this one.
Anyhow, thank you guys for watching. Take care.
Hey,
Peace.
one more thing. Di Stefano.
I go straight.
Keep making me that carbonara that I like, layman.
I got the sauce. I got the sauce. I got the sauce. I got the juice. I got the juice. You other niggas look confused. I got the sauce. I got the sauce. Yeah, I got the sauce. Yeah, I got the sauce. I got the sauce. Nigga, I got the sauce. I got the sauce. I got the juice. Watch. I got the juice. Watch. I got the sauce. I got the sauce. Yeah, I got the sauce.